My name is Carson. Welcome back to Thrifty Garage. In today's video, we're going to talk about what's the best bed type for our work trucks. Here we've got a utility body bed. Here we've got a long bed. And here we've got a flatbed. Let's do a brief overview of what these trucks are. Flatbed, we've got a 2015 Chevy 2500 with 6.0 gas, 180 some odd thousand miles. Next up, we have a 2018 3500 truck with the L5P Duramax and a factory long bed. And here we have a 2017 2500 long bed with utility box. So this is an 8-foot utility box. This is our newest truck to the fleet. We just picked this up this winter. It's been our winter project. Was crashed on the front end here, damage to the bumper, headlight, fender, door. You can kind of see our paint mismatch, but we're in the process of getting this titled and registered with the state. So this is still a project, but we're hoping to get that title back soon. This replaced our 2002 extended cab 2500 two-wheel drive truck with a 275,000 miles on it. This truck has 130,000 miles on it, and we actually paid the same price for this wrecked as we did our 2002 in running and driving condition. On the Duramax, this truck has about 90,000 miles. And let's actually talk about this bed configuration first. So I never, ever would have got a folding tonneau cover, but I absolutely love this. It's great for the business. It's great for my personal truck. I can put stuff back there. It does get a little wet sometimes, but not super bad. You can take it through the car wash, all that stuff. It's great. When we hook up a gooseneck, we can easily fold this down and hook up a gooseneck. It's not super secure, but it's pretty secure and works great for me. I can put shovels in here. I can put different tools, paint, spray paint, whatever else I need. And biggest thing for security is it's out of sight, out of mind. Honestly, I think that's a bigger deterrent than actually something being lockable. This will eventually rattle itself back into place, but this cover's actually been pretty beat up. It was used when we bought the truck. Probably need to upgrade that and replace that. But standard bed. Over the years, I've decided that I only will buy 8-foot beds for the business. And I've tried a lot of different truck configurations, and I think that's one thing that I've held strong on, and I don't really see a reason why to change that. There's been other things that I've changed over the years, such as the cab configuration. I always thought crew cabs were the way to go. I've since changed my mind on that. I actually really like the extended cab, and I'm trying out the regular cab with that truck. We'll see how that works out. But this truck in particular, it just wasn't a great employee truck. It's too long for a lot of employees with the long bed and with the crew cab. So back to the bed. These standard box beds work great. I think they're great for resale. I think you can put a load of rock in them. You can instead of having a dump trailer, you can work right out of the bed. A lot of versatility, a lot of function. I think that truck beds have been around for a long time, and as a society, we've found uses for them. And it's hard to argue with just a standalone pickup truck box. They just work. I've put toolboxes in them. This is our Atwood's combo toolbox transfer tank, 100 gallons with the fill-right pump. We've got our filter on there, must have with the goldenrod filter. Great setup, and we've put this on a flatbed most recently. One thing with a traditional pickup truck bed is they're just not as durable and sturdy. Even on my truck, you can see we've got some ripples and dents in the bed. That's from actually tying stuff down on the inside. So that brings us over to our flatbeds. Super rugged, heavy-duty construction, plenty of space to throw a paddle on here. Just an excellent option versus the pickup truck bed. For the wintertime, we actually put a full pallet of ice melt right here. We can load the hopper, and we can actually fit a ATV sidewalk machine with a plow on it on the front end. Both will fit on this pickup truck bed. This is a dually bed, so it's a little bit wider. And that does, the four-wheeler does kind of take this whole space up. I think it would even fit on a single rear wheel. So bed space is huge with a flatbed. So many options, so many tie-down points, so functional. Visibility can be difficult. We actually removed the headache rack protection because the louvers in there were actually hard to see through. And also on this truck bed, we had the fuel transfer tank in here, and it's like halfway up the window. So in the pickup truck beds, a little bit easier to see because it's a little bit lower down. These have our frame supports, and that pushes the bottom of the bed up quite a bit higher than a factory truck bed. You can see here where we've bolted down our transfer tank in the middle here. We've got that fire extinguisher. Try to have those in all our truck beds. And here's another talking point too. These are really hard to fill up. So this line is very flat, and you can't put the nozzle in your traditional way. If you have a nozzle going up and into there, it just backs out. So what we actually end up doing is we put them upside down and put them in that way, and that tends to work. Once it kicks out fuel the first time, you can't put any more extra fuel in there. It's full. Once it's full, it's full. You try to put any more in there and it will spill over. So the big advantages here are durability, tie down, loading pallets, just heavier duty. Potentially easier to hook up the gooseneck ball. Gooseneck is a little bit difficult, and that's probably a separate video of bumper pull versus gooseneck trailers. We've got our gooseneck trailers, a lot of pros and cons to the goosenecks over the bumper pull, but really functional having the flatbed. So this has been a great addition to the business. Really like having the flatbed, and it's really opened up my eyes to the different options. But with this is we have little sprinkler parts, and we end up putting them in the cab because they just roll around out here. There's no easy way to tie down little stuff. The pickup truck bed is great for that. Where do we put a shovel in here? Where do we put PVC part? Where do we put pipe? So that's kind of where we move over to the utility bed. So everything I do for the landscaping business is a little bit of trial and error, a little bit of research and development, trying to figure out what works best for us and our business. And that's where the single cab utility body comes from. Really want to try this out. I don't know if it's going to work out with a gooseneck. This is just temporarily parked in here. If we were to put a gooseneck in here, it would probably need to be sitting a good 4 inches lower, which would put these frame rails awfully close. This is backed up too far, so we do have a little bit more space here. So I actually think that the gooseneck could possibly work with this truck bed and this configuration. So I might end up adding that on there. And that's the utility body. The biggest disadvantage for us in our business is because we already have invested in gooseneck trailers. A utility body, when I bought this truck, I didn't plan on pulling goosenecks with it. So if we can make it work, that's great. But that's one of the biggest disadvantages of utility body is you can't usually use a gooseneck truck with it, a gooseneck trailer. One advantage is we could put a pipe rack on here and be able to put long sticks of pipe up top there. So that really opens up some doors for us there, as well as having the storage. If we can get this organized, it could really open up some doors for us of having tools in here, having PVC parts, and just have everything on board. Currently, we're running our enclosed trailer, and so that really makes for a lot longer setup. And so being able to do this in one single cab truck versus a truck and a trailer could also open up some doors for sprinkler startups, sprinkler shutdowns, sprinkler repairs. If we could have everything on one truck, that really would be a nice setup versus pulling an enclosed trailer. This bed needs a lot of work. You can see somebody's removed a piece of the diamond plating to change out a fuel pump. And on top of that, this is not original to this truck. This obviously has been on 2 or 3 other trucks from this one by the looks of how it's been repainted and how old things are. This is just not an original bed to this truck. It's not only, 5-10 years old. This is probably closer to 15 or 20 years old, and it's got some abuse on it. It's got some wear and tear. This tailgate's pretty used up. I did order some new handles for this, but with service bodies, I think, as far as pricing goes, obviously the most expensive. You could probably get into these for $3, $5, $7 grand. Flatbed, you can get into them for $1,000, a couple $1,000, maybe, you know, you can get up there for a flatbed as well in price. You know, one advantage of going our factory bed is they're free. They come with the truck. So that's one point to the win for them. So in my business, what's the best? I don't know. And to be honest, is having, you know, all of one type the best? I think what we've got here, we've got a scenario where we've got 3 different beds. It actually gives us some versatility and some options in the business. And maybe that's best for your situation. Maybe you do have one truck in your fleet that has a service body, and maybe that's your repair truck. Maybe that's the truck that goes out and does sprinkler repairs or auto mechanic type work. Maybe you have a couple of traditional beds and they serve those functions, and then maybe you've got a flatbed also. So I think that it kind of depends on your needs. If you only had one truck, if I only could choose one truck, it would probably be a flatbed or a standard bed. Once I have 2 or more trucks, then the utility body's a little more dependent on your specific needs. So there's a little bit of our experience. We have quite a bit of experience with the flatbed, a lot of experience with the traditional bed. Yet to be determined with the service body how that works for our business and if that's something we would do in the future. Same thing with the two-wheel drive truck. We tried out our cheap two-wheel drive truck, and a high mileage truck doesn't work for us. Two-wheel drive trucks don't work for us. Lesson learned. We'll find out if a rebuilt truck works for us. We'll find out if a utility body works for us. And I'm actually already thinking about putting a flatbed on there, or a standard bed, or like I say, if I can make this gooseneck work on here, that might be the way to go. So tell me in the comments what works for you. Do you prefer a utility bed? Do you prefer a standard 8-foot bed? Or do you prefer a flatbed? Pros and cons, reasons why, anything I missed, leave them in the comments down below. Thanks for watching the Thrifty Garage video. Please like, subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching Thrifty Garage.